You've been waiting all day to watch this one. One of the best low post players in time in yourself. Give us your thoughts on why the stretch 5 has become so popular.
Well, in a lot of offenses these days, floor spacing is king. And what you see now, you see a lot of bigs are practicing shooting the 3 more than ever.
Yeah, even the younger centers. You think of Towns and Cousins and Embiid, as powerful as they are, they love to stay on that perimeter and shoot that 3 ball. So it's hard to stay on the floor right now if you can't shoot it.
Yes, you came into the league at the right time.
Ooh. I would have made him revert back to
So you'd have a hard time getting off the bench these days, Shaq, because you didn't shoot the 3 ball.
Shaq on the bench don't even sound right together. That's like peanut butter and tar.
That can be pretty tasty.
No, that doesn't sound right together.
No, it doesn't. I'm just kidding, big fella. Wasn't it funny? Did you find that amusing?
You hurt my feelings, Johnny.
Did you hurt? Come on.
Don't talk
Give
to me
a
for
big
2 seconds. La 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 la.
2K Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the NBA.
This is Kevin Harlan alongside Clark Kellogg and Greg Anthony. DA will join. We are nearly ready.
Well, guys, we know when you talk about dedication, Chris Paul is the greatest. Now, he says, I have a scary passion for basketball. I study it, I watch it all day, every day. I'm not the most athletic guy, so I have to use my mind and my knowledge of the game.
Tremendously competitive with great attention to detail, David. Thanks. And the regular season officially begins. Most rookies around the league, Clark, will have their eyes wide open. I mean, wow, what an eye-opening experience to play with this speed, this talent. How nervous were you going back to that time in your life? How nervous were you on opening night?
Very nervous, really excited, but there were some butterflies that I had to work really hard at trying to get them to fly in formation because they were all over the place, Kevin. But ultimately, once you get out there and you break that first sweat or you get that first hit or bucket, then it simply becomes basketball. But prior to that, pregame meal, your nap before the game, butterflies are doing their own thing.
Now we'll look at Memphis's starting group. Jackson down low with Gasol. Out there with Brooks. And it's Anderson in at the 3 spot.
He's known as more steady than flashy, but that was a sensational pass by Conley. He can get fancy when he needs to.
Capella kicks it to Tucker. Now the pass to Carmelo. The rebound by Anderson.
Great look, but he couldn't finish everything but was how we say that. Surprising since the defense was very pedestrian.
Conley gets the bucket. For Houston, they've gone 1 of 3 from the field to start this one so far. Gasol with the steal. Conley left side. And Clint Capella is going to pick up a foul. That is his first foul of the game. It's stolen by Capella.
That was clearly a forced pass. There was no room for him to make it.
Conley grabs the miss. Grizzlies have gotten their first 3 shots to go in for him to start off this game. Jackson setting the pick here for Conley. Harden against Brooks. Back to Conley. A 3-pointer is right on target. Conley's got 5 now.
And early on, they look great. They've made all 4 of their shots to start this game.
Harden kicks to Anthony. Over Anderson. He hits the back iron and sinks the shot.
You know, Harden will burn you when you overcommit and leave guys open. He's excellent at sensing when you're out of position.
Conley against Paul. And finished off by Conley.
And a sturdy screen set for him that time. And he doesn't fool around, just straight to the rim for the finish.
No way for his man to get around that one. That's for sure.
No chance, Kevin. I mean, the screen was in the right spot. His feet were set. He would have had to go straight through him, and that's not legal.
And the foul on Carmelo Anthony. That's his first foul. Jackson down low, guarded by Tucker, and he gets it to go. Jackson's got his second bucket tonight.
Yeah, they're going to have a nice little run here.
Paul kicks to Harden. Capella, the pass to Paul. And he's good on the three ball.
Outstanding long-range marksmanship from Paul. Solid at spraying it from deep.
Pass to Gasol. A beautiful reverse layup.
They're getting on a roll inside. Their last 3 field goals have come from the paint.
From deep, Harden. It's not going to go for him. And Memphis the other way now. Harden against Brooks. Jackson a screen on Harden. Poke loose. It's stolen by Anthony. Floats one. And Harden with the basket on the assist from Capella.
Boy, I love watching Harden pat the rock. Has an unlimited number of moves to choose from. Endless.
Gasol setting the pick for Conley. Anderson outside. Here's Gasol. And the Grizzlies tack on 2 more.
And offensively, they've done a great job here of staying in rhythm.
Well, I tell you what, Greg, their offense has really been productive this half, and I absolutely love the shots they've taken so far.
Paul kicks to Anthony. He gets it in there.
Well, you know, one of the things about Mike D'Antoni is that he's an excellent offensive mind, but he gives his players so much confidence. His defensive reputation is not as strong, but with the Rockets last season, they actually were a lockdown team at times. D'Antoni answering those critics about not being a defensive-minded coach.
Capella with a screen on Anderson. And James Harden good for 3. Harden's got 5.
And 10 of their last 12 coming off assists.
Passes it to Brooks. Now here's Gasol. Memphis moving that ball around. Conley's shot is off. Harden outside. Kicks to Capella. Paul against Conley. Offensive rebound. Paul outside. Gasol against Capella. Using his post move to get the 2 points. Capella's got his second bucket.
And good passing, setting up a lot of these buckets right now, Kevin. That's been the key.
Dime-dropping delights is what I call it.
That's a nice pass. I will give you that one.
Yeah, he was on the money, that's no doubt. And out of bounds as the Grizzlies gain possession. It's stolen by Capella. Outside Anthony. And another 3 for Houston.
Yeah, that's too good a look to give him from behind the arc.
Memphis has gone 1 of 2 from long range in the first quarter. Out to the wing. Left side Gasol. Got it for his 4th field goal of the game on just 5 shots.
And just a solid way to start the game. 4 of 5.
Paul passes to Carmelo. Capella sets a screen for Anthony. Paul against Conley. Paul kicks it to Tucker. Capella with a screen on Anderson. 4 on the shot clock. Houston needs to get a shot. Harden can't hit.
And the great shooters know when they've got enough opening to go for the 3. I didn't think it was a bad choice on that possession.
Anthony against Anderson. Right side Jackson launches it. Drains the 3-pointer. And now a 5-point Memphis lead.
Hey, I tell you what, the contest on that shot was lacking. Very subpar, which is why the shooter buried it.
Anthony against Anderson. And And he got the whistle, so he'll have a three-point play opportunity.
Yeah, those shots are taken totally in rhythm, high percentage quality shots, and really getting whatever he wants.
And a closer look here at the scoring breakdown for Memphis.
You know what, guys? It looks to me like they're really in sync here, all on the same page. They've already got a bunch of assists.
And then also, they've played well with their backs to the basket tonight. I mean, just really strong play in the post.
Looking at who's out there now for the Rockets. Nene, he's checked in for Capella. James Ennis comes in for P.J. Tucker. Gordon's checked in for James Harden. And Knight subbed in for Chris Paul. Conley, and he could not get that one to go. A lot of contact, and he'll go to the 1 for 2. It's on Nene.
And Mike Conley, the fellow Buckeye, is about as reliable as it gets in running his team and doing everything you want a point guard to do. A crafty defender. He also has really elevated his game offensively.
That's good from Conley.
And you got to love just how smart of a point guard Mike Conley is. You never get the sense he is forcing anything with the ball and keeps it moving around to his teammates. Very aware of his spacing and the spacing of others while running that offense.
And Conley drops them both. And Conley, who is so good with space and timing on offense, seems to always find a way to score inside.
I mean, he has that great floater to lean on for scoring. And the only thing you want from Conley is help. Has had a few too many injuries to ignore the last few seasons. This team is so visibly better when he is healthy and on the floor.
And it's good off the back rim and in. And the Grizzlies lead by 5.
And it's just been an avalanche of points here in the early going.
Yeah, you know, both teams scoring at a really steady clip. If you like good offense, you've come to the right spot. This is your game.
The Rockets have gone 0 for 1 at the line. This is their second trip to the line tonight.
And at the line last season, about 78% as a team. Pretty solid numbers.
The position of power forward, Clark, that was your position. Did you ever think it would become a major weapon for stretching the floor as it is now?
No, I didn't see that evolution happening. I mean, again, at that time in the 80s, even into the 90s, you had the small forward and the power forward was more of an enforcer. I was actually kind of a hybrid at the time because I could deal inside effectively on the glass and because of my size and strength, but also could step out and put it on the floor and pass it a little bit. So, no, the evolution with the 4-man in this day and age, I did not foresee that at all. Love what's happened with it, but it speaks, I think, to the athleticism and skill of these bigger guys now.
It does. Here's Anthony. That's him. That's his 5th field goal. He's shooting a hot 71%, 5 for 7. Parsons sets a screen for Conley, and it's Memphis with another.
They've wasted no time settling into their offense.
Yeah, they're lasered in. I mean, really making the most of their possessions.
Anthony, the pass tonight, and there's the 3-second violation.
And looking now at some numbers for Eric Gordon. Some last season stats for him. Averaged about 18 points a game, 2 assists and 2 rebounds. And every team in the league needs shooting. That's what he brings coming off the pine.
Yeah, there's always a demand for shooters, man. Half jumper will travel. I'm telling you. Most championship teams, they have a bunch of those guys who can put it in the basket.
Green, the screen. Now Casper. And the layup's good off the glass. Caspy's got his second bucket. Rockets trail by 8. Knight kicks to Anthony. And the whistle blows. It's going to be on Michael Conley. That's his first foul. Anthony up on top, covered by Parsons. Nene with the screen on Parsons. 6 to shoot. Parsons against Anthony. Over Parsons. It's rebounded by Memphis. To the inside. The feed to Green. That's in, coming off the assist from Parsons. And now it's a 10-point Memphis lead. There's 1:47 left to play in the first quarter. Pass to Ennis. Nene, the screen. Ennis dishes to Carmelo. Down to 5 on the shot clock. And Anthony gets double teamed. And we're going to have a jump ball. It's tied up there.
Jump ball.
So it's the Grizzlies now. Here's Conley. 16 points for him. And the wide open shot from Green. And it's Memphis with another.
And already with the commanding lead, a terrific offensive performance.
Yeah, and the execution, time and time again, right on point. They're running their offense to perfection.
Knight passes to Anthony. Looking to end the drought. Nene trying to get open. And Anthony with the lay-in. Anthony's got 13.
And he's really shot the ball well, but it hasn't been contagious.
Now the pass to Green. Back to Temple. Lead pass was put in just the right spot. Temple's got his first points of the night.
And they're passing the ball very crisply here.
Knight kicks to Ennis. And stolen by Parsons. Here is Caspi, covered by Anthony. Caspi passes to Conley. Shot clock at 6. Stolen by Nene. Here's Knight. Rebound by Caspi. Parsons outside. He kicks to Caspi. Here's Conley. No good on the buzzer beater. And you see that a lot nowadays. Star players developing friendships and GAs spending time with each other off the floor.
Yeah, some people hate it because they want that bad blood you used to see, but no reason you have to hate someone to really compete against them.
Well, not exactly a close game so far, but as the second quarter starts here, plenty of time for a comeback. And guys, the Grizzlies enjoying a nice lead here.
I mean, a huge lead, and already after this first quarter, they're starting to make it look easy.
Yeah, like an avalanche, Greg, overpowering the defense on the majority of their possessions.
So on the floor to begin things for Memphis here in the second quarter. Rab is out there with Caspi. Then it's Garrett Temple. Then it's Conley, and it's Green in at the 5. And keeping us updated from the sideline, let's swing it over to David Aldridge.
Hey guys, well, Marc Gasol is the more fiery of the Gasol brothers. Pau Gasol says, I sugarcoat things a little more than Marc. He's more emotional, more direct. And Marc said, when a mistake happens on defense, I know you're not concentrating. I don't allow that. He knows controlling his frustration is important. He says, I'm working on it. Guys?
Part of leadership, DA. Thank you. Nene, the screen. Knight against Green. A nice shot by Knight. Knight's got his first points of the game.
And that's why it's so important to really be a good screening team. You get a lot of open looks from it.
Back to Green. And Green slams it in.
And a sturdy screen set for him that time. And he doesn't fool around, just straight to the rim for the finish.
No way for his man to get around that one. That's for sure.
No chance, Kevin. I mean, the screen was in the right spot. His feet were set. He would have had to go straight through him, and that's not legal.
A nice shot by Knight.
Oh, perfect timing there to knock down the teardrop.
And the Grizzlies leading by 15. And you look at James Harden, Coach Mike D'Antoni, and the Rocket front office. It really does seem like a match made in heaven.
Yeah, I think the alignment of the front office and coaching staff really in harmony. And a star in Harden, who's the best in the world at delivering in that system. Chris Paul part of the mix, too. That's a pretty good fit, it looks like to me. Green,
the screen. A floater, and it's good on the way in. 21 points for Conley.
Well, I tell you what, he's putting together quite a game here, knocking down shots and building upon this lead.
Nene kicks to Knight. Nene setting the pick for Knight. Nene, the screen. Knight against Conley. From 13, the Grizzlies pull it in.
When he's got that kind of positioning, he's got to score it. Got to score the ball from there.
Temple the pass to Rapp. There's the killer two-handed slam.
And surprisingly, a firm throwdown. And that's a little bit out of character, Kevin.
It is, Greg. You're right. He's got plenty of size to attack the basket, but rarely does.
Well, he certainly attacked it that time, Kevin. I mean, that's what they want to see more from him.
And now the first timeout called here for the Rockets. In the NBA, Clark, great offense sometimes overcomes great defense. The fadeaway jumper, an example of one of the more unstoppable shots players make.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, you think of guys like Dirk Nowitzki, LeBron James. Dirk's was so unorthodox, and at his size, just impossible to get to his shot when he stepped away from you. And LeBron has mastered it with his athleticism and strength. I mean, he'll fade away and fade 8-10 feet away from you and still get that shot off. So those two guys, I mean, if you're talking about major fadeaways currently in the last decade, I don't think you could find anybody that would top them.
The Grizzlies shooting their third and fourth free throw shots of the night. No good on the free throw. And Dylan Brooks, the former Pac-12 Player of the Year. Greg, with a great start to his career.
Yeah, I was shocked that Brooks ended up going 45th overall in that 2017 draft. He just plays within himself, but still is aggressive in terms of looking for his shot. Looks like he'll be a strong scoring option for the team as he continues to develop.
And the Grizzlies leading by 20. Closing in on 4 minutes played here in the second quarter. Over in the corner, Conley. And the ball travels out of bounds. It was last touched by Harden. Here are the top distributors from last season. These guys always seem to find the open man. James Harden, third.
Very few guys pass the ball better than he did. I mean, he didn't just have eyes in the back of his head. It's almost as if he had them on both sides, too.
It's stolen by Capella. Here's Green, and that one clearly a foul. Gets the whistle, and 2 shots coming up.
Now let's see some of the numbers here on Marc Gasol. Last season, he played outstanding. Last season, put up about 17 points per, 8 rebounds, and 4 assists. And he brings that offensive firepower to the team. Scoring just comes naturally.
And, you know, defenses are throwing everything at him, yet he's still able to put up points. He's really unstoppable.
Clark, if you were a general manager, and I think you'd make an outstanding one, during the pre-draft process in particular, a player has declined to work out for you. Would you still consider drafting him?
Yeah, I would consider it. And again, there would be some extenuating circumstances. Why has he declined? What have we seen? Obviously, I'm hopeful that my scouting staff has taken a look at him, and I've seen the kid up close and in person and done my due diligence, so I've got a comfort level with who he is and what he can become. But I don't think the declining of a workout is enough reason to just dismiss a prospect that you like.
Rockets trail by 18. Harden gets the bucket.
You know, a good percentage of Harden's points come from beyond the arc. He works extremely hard to find the space he needs on the perimeter.
Green against Anderson. Pass to Gasol. Fires the 3. No good on the shot. And Houston the other way now. Paul outside. Passes it to Harden. To the middle. Trying to find Capella. Gets it to him. Throws down the alley-oop slam.
The 6'10" Capella showing you some bounce on that alley-oop.
And a tremendous Unleash Chaos replay coming to you courtesy of Under Armour Hover Havoc. Conley kicks to Gasol. Back to Conley. And Chris Paul picks up the foul. That is his first foul of the game. Jackson, he's checked in for Memphis.
Jaron Jackson.
And Clint Capella is going to pick up a foul. That's his third foul of the game.
And already his third foul. It's got to be time to get him out of there probably until the third quarter.
Anderson outside. Outside Gasol. Just 5 on the clock. Shoots.
And a defensive Capella is huge. I mean, very impactful at that end of the floor, using his big body to deter shooters.
Harden way outside. No good from outside.
And you don't want to give up that kind of look too often.
Brooks against Harden. Conley with the 3. It drops. That's his 9th field goal of the contest. A blistering hot 9 for 11.
You know, when Conley's scoring like this, I think they are a better team. I mean, the passing is great, but fill it up, Mike. I'm loving this.
Now a timeout called by Houston. You look at Michael Conley. What a contribution.
And, you know, Kevin, he's on another level right now. Knocking down threes left and right. The defense isn't doing their job, and I think they've got to talk about it quickly.
All right, a chance to check out stats for Harden. He's coming off an excellent season. Top in scoring, 3rd in assists, and of course, he's got a nose for the ball. He ranked in the top 10 in steals last season.
And his unmatchable instincts for scoring the basketball. That's what made him #1 last year. You can't stop him, and you can't even really contain him.
+8 in the rebound differential. One more reason why they're in control.
Yeah, double-digit advantage on the scoreboard. They've taken the initiative. They've played, I think, with more purpose so far.
And now only 1 away from being in the penalty.
Yep, the next one puts them on the line, so they've got to be careful the rest of the way.
Here's Gasol. He's got 8. And he's fouled pretty hard on that shot, but he's got the chance to pick up the points at the line.
That's his 2nd personal foul.
The Grizzlies have been successful on 3 of their 4 free throw attempts up to this point. And that one falls for Jackson. Jackson hits both of them.
Yeah, nice job of drawing the contact and creating opportunities at the line.
My kind of hoops. Straight ahead, playing downhill, and physical.
Brooks against Harden. Drills the baseline jumper. Harden's got 5 points in the quarter.
And, you know, even if you contest the shot, there's no guarantee you're stopping Harden. I mean, he's locked in on scoring, and he's one of the very best in the league.
Brooks against Harden. Brooks gets to Conley. Just 5 on the clock. Brooks with a screen on Paul. Conley gets the bucket.
Wow, unconscious has he been this quarter. They're riding that hot hand.
Paul outside. Back to Harden. And the whistle blows. It's going to be on Michael Conley. That'll be his 2nd foul of the game.
Aggressiveness is fine, but you can't be this over-aggressive. I think he's got to dial it back some. They need him on the floor.
Ennis, he's checked in for Gerald Green. And the Grizzlies also with the sub. Parsons is checked in. Conley against Paul. From the baseline. And it's in after a nice bounce off the right side. Paul's got 5 now.
You know, I don't care how tight you play him. It's very hard to keep Paul from knocking that shot down. His in-between game is lethal.
Now here's Parsons. Defense is right there. And Clint Capella is going to pick up the foul. That will get him his 4th foul of the game. And due to the bonus, we will head to the line for 2.
And Chandler Parsons, a player who's just had some bad luck with injury. Yeah, you think back to when he was at full health and how impactful of a player he was. Still working to get back to that level, but it's been a long journey for Parsons.
Houston making a switch here. Nene's checked in. He hits one and misses one, each at the line. And with Parsons, it wasn't that long ago. He was a top small forward with his scoring and playmaking.
You know, at one time thought to be the ideal small forward, you know, to give you a little bit of everything on the floor, could get to the rim, could stretch it with the perimeter shooting, and a solid defender. His outside shooting, I think, still there, but the burst that allowed him to get good looks is something injuries may have taken away.
And James Harden was crowned MVP after last season. Greg, hard to argue with that selection.
Harden has had a case to win an MVP award for several years now. Finally was able to be the clear choice this past season. Another great line on what is shaping up to be a Hall-worthy resume.
Harden hits them both.
And, you know, after being a sixth man during the beginning of his career, Harden has blossomed into a big-time star. He's a top-tier combo guard in this league now.
Parsons attacking, and Parsons slams it in.
He just bangs down the one-hander.
Two very easy points right here.
He'll take those all day long.
Harden with it. He's picked up by Brooks. Harden against Brooks. Harden outside. Sweet little floater. Harden's got 9 points now in the quarter.
And started hot, and he's only gotten hotter.
Left side Gasol. And there's the call on Nene. That's his third foul so far. Bonus situation in effect, so we'll head to the free throw line for 2.
And even now in his mid-30s, Marc Gasol is fantastic. I mean, he gives you everything you want at that center position. Strong defender and rebounder, and he has a host of ways to get you buckets.
Timeout called, the Rockets. And with Gasol, he continues to develop his outside shot, Greg, to act as a stretch center now.
Yeah, and really the combination of his three-ball shooting and his passing, really, even at this stage of his career, makes him a tough cover. You worry if he'll settle too much for that outside shot, but boy, when he is on, there are few answers for slowing him down.
It's deflected. It's going to be out of bounds. The Rockets will retain possession. We see a chart here for the shooting performance so far for Conley.
When it rains, it pours. These threes aren't easy. I mean, he's draining them from all over. Quite often, there's a hand in his face or a defender closing out right at him, but every time he's looked as cool as ever and found the bottom of the net.
Wing shot on the way.
It's just one of those games for him so far. Nothing seems to be finding the bottom of the net. Seems like he's in a hurry. He's kind of rushing his shot. Clearly out of rhythm right now. That's a big reason why they're losing.
Here's Paul. Knocked away.
And they've got a big lead, not just on the scoreboard, but really in the rebounding numbers as well.
And what I like about it, Greg, it's been a physical brand of basketball. It's had a little sandpaper element to it, gritty and rough, but that's how you win games.
Shot clock at 5. Gasol a screen. Parsons can't hit that one. So Houston will take it the other way. Following this one, they get to host the Pelicans. That'll be the latter half of this 2-game homestand. Harden draws the double. Nene setting the pick for Ennis. That shot misses. Some solid defense there from Jackson. In the corner, Parsons with it. And it's good. Assisting on the play was Brooks. Brooks has got 3 assists tonight.
And you're asking for more trouble than you can handle if you're going to let him just roam free from beyond the arc.
The drive by Paul over Conley, and the bank shot is good. 7 points for Chris Paul.
And Kevin, they started the game shooting it so well. I'm surprised they haven't continued. They've got to get back to their strength.
Yeah, I mean, test the hot hand. You're exactly right. I say let those triples fly.
And he knows how to make good use of his size in that low block. And Gasol's inside game is very refined. There's a smoothness to how he approaches it.
Looking at who's out there now for the Rockets. Anthony's checked in for Nene. Gordon comes in for James Harden. And it's Brandon Knight in for Chris Paul. And Marc Gasol, a force on both ends of the floor. You forget, Greg, that he's won a Defensive Player of the Year award.
Yeah, Gasol doesn't really wow you on defense with what he does. I mean, he gets blocks, but it's really his positioning and his rotations are what make him so great. Always involved in plays, and he just seems to be able to protect the rim and a terrific team defender.
Boy, has he put his foot on the pedal here this quarter. He's doing a terrific job in terms of leading their offense.
Tucker, the pass to Carmelo. Played in with a nice touch off the glass. Anthony's got 15 points.
Yeah, just superb focus there from Melo, overpowering the D and still finishes.
Green, the screen. Conley kicks to Gasol. Parsons, right side. Back to Gasol. Conley for three. Drills it from outside. Conley's got 32 points in the game.
How many times have we seen a possession like that from them today, ending with a basket coming off a pretty pass?
Well, when you look at the assist totals, heck, they've been clearly the better team.
And I like the fact that he really was unfazed by that scoreless first quarter, and now you can see him getting into a rhythm.
In the corner, Parsons with it. Good-looking screen by Gasol. Tried to come right back with the three of his own. Tremendous game from Mike Conley.
And through the first two quarters, he was dynamite from beyond.
Greg, simply spectacular. I mean, the defense just hasn't been able to find an answer for his outside shot.
The engine of this team, Paul and Harden in the backcourt. Melo and Tucker are the forwards. And it's Ennis in at the center. They're the group for Mike D'Antoni starting the second half. Here's Harden on the wing. Brooks covering. Houston moving the ball around. Capella with a screen on Anderson. 6 to shoot. Anthony, the pass to Paul. With the shot. Misses off the right iron.
Right thing there to stay that tight on him and really try to keep him out of his comfort zone.
Conley gets the bucket.
Yeah, that's 2 bombs in a row from long range.
Houston's gone 5 of 8 from three-point land. 15 points and a deep ball for them tonight. Anthony sets the pick for Harden. Off the screen. Oh, and the jam by Anthony.
Nobody better at running the screen and roll than Harden. He's conniving, creative, pacing, spacing, all of that on display. Incredible in the pick and roll.
There's the screen. Gasol kicks to Brooks. Anderson against Anthony. Anderson passes to Gasol. And again, it's Memphis with the three.
Man, you've really got to appreciate the versatility of Gasol. I mean, he's a big man with range. I love seeing him square up from deep.
Capella with a screen on Anderson. Paul against Conley. Screen by Capella. Capella with a screen on Gasol. A nice shot by Tucker.
Tell you what, for a guy who's inconsistent from three, Tucker's showing you he can be scary out there at times for a defense.
And Chris Paul picks up the foul. That's foul number 2 for him. To the wing right side. Brooks setting the pick for Anderson. So the whistle blows on the shot and 2 free throws for the contact right there.
And you watch Kyle Anderson out there. They call him slow-mo for how he moves on the court. Just one of those jack-of-all-trades type of players on offense, and wasn't known for his defense, but has put in a lot of work to improve in that area.
Shooting 2.
That free throw good from Anderson. And with Anderson, the defense has been a focus for him the last few seasons.
And even though Anderson doesn't get up and down the floor fast, he still has quick hands and feet. Is being asked to guard some of the top forwards in the league for this team. Wants players to try and shoot over him so he can use his length. Considers it a win if his assignment takes a jumper and doesn't get around it.
Just Mr. Reliable again here today, Kevin. I mean, they need his points, and he's producing.
Anthony with a screen on Brooks. Harden kicks to Anthony. Down and drops through the net for his 9th bucket. He is 9 for 13 so far.
Everything going to plan here to start the third. 80% shooting thus far.
Conley for 3. Good work defensively by Paul.
This offense's first miss after 3 straight makes to start the second half.
Stolen by Jackson. And oh, here we go. Brooks got it. The fast break chance. Jackson dishes to Brooks. Conley against Paul. And Conley gets it to go. The assist by Brooks. And that's now 37 points for Conley.
And some guys just have a nose for scoring. And this one couldn't have been any easier.
Yeah, that was actually no defense at all there, Greg. I mean, layups don't come any easier than that. I mean, they're piling it on now.
Timeout called, the Rockets.
And really, whether you're up or down, it's a game of adjustments.
Always. And having a good coach is critically important. I mean, you need somebody you can count on to make the right adjustments.
Taking a look here at numbers for Chris Paul. He's coming off an excellent season. He averaged 18 points a game, 8 assists, and 5 rebounds. And his playmaking really stands out, making his teammates better offensively with his terrific passing.
Yeah, he's outstanding at controlling the tempo. I mean, keeps the ball moving and, of course, finds the open man.
And the Grizzlies leading by 20. The drive by Brooks. That one, no good. Third quarter of basketball here, and just a little under 3.5 minutes gone by. It's tipped. Harden's shot is good. Harden's got 5 points now this quarter.
Boy, so crafty a player is James Harden. I mean, when he gets inside, he finds all kinds of ways and manner in which to score.
And there's the foul. It'll go on P.J. Tucker. That's his 3rd foul of the game. Gerald Green, he's checked in for P.J. Tucker. And Memphis also making a switch. Rab's checked in for Marc Gasol. And Anderson kicks to Conley. And the foul on Carmelo Anthony. That'll be his 2nd foul of the game.
Yeah, clearly struggling here with the foul. Still early. And just one more will put him over the limit.
And so it's Memphis with it. Brooks setting a pick for Anderson. Shot clock at 6. Over Harden. He hits the back iron and sinks the shot. And the Grizzlies lead by 20. Pass to Anthony. Over Jackson. Anthony's shot is off. For Memphis, they've gone 5 of 7 from the field in the 3rd quarter. Let's see if they can keep it up. Brooks kicks to Conley. Brooks with a screen on Paul. Stolen by Harden. And here we go. Paul heading to the hoop. It's good. The assist that time from Harden. 9 points for Chris Paul.
Never surprising to see Chris Paul start the break now. But as we see right there, he's just as good at finishing it.
Brooks setting a pick for Conley. They double team Conley. And the ball's tied up, so we'll have a jump ball.
Jump ball call.
And so here's Memphis. Jackson passes to Rab. Conley dishes to Jackson. Clock at 6. Kicks to Brooks. Memphis needs to get off a shot here. Fires from 14. Jackson misses. Rockets trail by 18. And here is Anthony. He's got 19. Got a piece of it. And the ball travels out of bounds. It was last touched by Conley. And Clark, while we have a moment, let's show you the list of players who put up the most points last year. James Harden, number 1.
And he's not going to forget that season anytime soon. And it's safe to say neither will anyone who watched him.
And it's going to be out of bounds. The Grizzlies will take it. And a look at the locations on the floor where he's been shooting the ball.
Well, this is what you wanted to see from him. I mean, he's not settling for anything and is going right at the defender, taking the ball to the rim whenever he can. And the attitude he's had on offense is keeping his team flying around as his energy is contagious out there right now.
Anderson kicks to Ram. The kick out to Anderson. Knocks it loose. Brooks dishes to Anderson. Jackson a screen on Green. And here's Anderson from the arc.
And you know what? You can't get a better screen. Frees him up beautifully, but he just fails to capitalize.
Clearly a frustrating missed opportunity there. Perfect screen. Got him the space he needed, but he bricked it.
Here's Paul. Loses his man off the screen and lays it up and in. Paul's got 4 points this quarter.
So dangerous in these sets. Paul is a maestro at running the pick and roll to perfection.
Back to Brooks. There's the 3. Rebounded by Capella. Capella's got his 4th rebound in this one. Harden inside the 3-point line, and it's Houston with another. Now here's Conley. 37 points for him.
Pretty early to be over the limit. That foul situation is something we want to keep an eye on.
And a chance for just a second to check out the scoring breakdown for the Grizzlies.
What a tremendous showing from the three-pointer all through this game.
Another thing they've done tonight well is share the ball. So many of their points have come off of good, crisp passes.
Houston making a switch here. Gordon's checked in. Then for the Grizzlies. Green is checked in for Jackson. Caspi comes in for Kyle Anderson. And Garrett Temple subbed in for Dylan Brooks. Now the pass to Conley. And taken away by Paul. Here's Green. Good, and Paul gets the assist. Paul's got 3 assists in the game.
Boy, the floor awareness of Chris Paul. Got to respect that. I mean, whenever one of his guys is open, he's getting the ball to him quickly and on time.
Floats one up, and the layup is up and in. Caspi's got 8 points.
He knew what he wanted to do all along. The teardrop.
Screen by Capella for 3, and it's Paul missing.
Well, he had 1 3-pointer in the first half, but so far in the second, he's come up with goose eggs.
Here's Temple, covered by Anthony. It's deflected, and as it goes out of bounds, Houston able to keep the ball. So for the Rockets, Ennis comes in for Gerald Green, and it's Brandon Knight in for Chris Paul. Chandler Parsons, he's checked in for the Grizzlies. Gordon, the pass to Ennis. Outside Knight, 5 on the clock. Screen by Capella. The floater, it's tipped, and it goes out of bounds. Last touch by Parsons. And so here is Houston, 15-point game.
A moment now to see the numbers for Capella. Great showing for him last season. First in field goal percentage, second in blocks, and he also finished the season in the top 10 in rebounding. It's just a terrific year on the glass.
And last year, he really was the poster boy for scoring efficiency. You could count on one hand the number of bad shots he took. And Caspi kicks to Parsons. Green with a screen for Parsons. from 13, and the shot goes down. Parsons got 8 points. Rockets trail by 17. Guys, they're looking for a way to score here.
Yeah, they've had a tough time taking the lid off.
There's a screen. Anthony against Parsons. It's tipped. And here we go. Parsons heading to the hoop. And Parsons slams it in.
The tenacity, the attention to detail. It's why these guys are in complete control.
And you know what, Greg? They are crushing it on both ends. I mean, in total control right now.
And Anthony gets it to go.
And the shooting form of Anthony, just perfect. He's dangerous with the catch and shoot and just terrific at scoring when in rhythm.
And Clint Capella with a big pay raise this season.
Well, you forget just how young he is. I mean, this guy is just starting his career. His rookie contract concluded last season, and the Rockets willing to pay whatever they needed to keep him.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
That's good from Green. Paul's checked in for the Rockets. And both free throws good for Green. Rockets trail by 18. Paul kicks to Anthony. Screen by Capella. And JaMychal Green picks up the foul. That's foul number 2 for him.
That's his second personal foul. Second team foul.
Conley against Paul. Anthony on the wing. Shot clock at 5. Over Parsons. And it falls over the rim and in. 24 points for Carmelo Anthony.
Well, you got to respect the jump shot of Anthony because he's got the ultimate green light. And because of that freedom, he's a dangerous guy on the perimeter.
Here's Green. And again, Memphis no good.
The inside just a bit too congested for him to get the usual shot he would have with rhythm.
Count it, good.
The vision, the timelessness of Chris Paul's game. For many years, he's made everyone around him better.
Parsons passes to Conley. And the foul on Carmelo Anthony. That's his 3rd foul so far. Bonus situation in effect, so we'll head to the free throw line for 2. And that one falls for Mike Conley.
Yeah, former 4th overall draft pick. Conley took a while to develop physically, but the mental parts have always been there.
P.J. Tucker, he's checked in for the Rockets. The Grizzlies also making a change. Marc Gasol's checked in for Green. Paul against Conley. Looking to get back on track here, and it's Houston with another.
Always one of the league's most accurate jump shooters. Chris Paul can flat out knock him down.
Here's Temple, defended by Gordon, and the officials will call the illegal screen right there. And while we have a chance, let's take a look at the best free throw shooters in the league from last season. Second, Chris Paul.
He was locked and loaded from the free throw line all season. Never suffered through any real lulls in that department.
Gordon with a screen on Conley. The baseline J. Hits some rim on the way in, and the bucket's good. Paul's got 15.
And his handle's simply phenomenal. Rush hour handles of the highest level. Cutting and carving his way to wherever he wants to go. Chris Paul is a maestro with the ball.
At the line for the Grizzlies, Michael Conley taking 2 shots.
Two shots.
First one falls for him. And so Mike Conley nails both of them. There's 53 seconds left to play here in the third. To the paint. Here's Anthony. Slammed home, and he draws the foul. A chance for another point at the free throw line. They get Marc Gasol.
Carmelo Anthony imposing his will inside. Doesn't take any time. Rising up for the dunk.
One shot. One shot.
Well, most figured Melo would go to the Rockets after the buyout trade to Atlanta last summer. He's playing for a coach he used to butt heads with in New York with Mike D'Antoni. Melo has some proving to do this year, whether he wants to acknowledge it or not.
Count it. And that's now 19 points for Marc Gasol.
Wow, fired that bounce pass in there beautifully.
8-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. Gordon kicks to Paul. Anthony sets the pick for Paul. Basket is good, and he'll get a chance for one more at the free throw line.
And not relying at all on the three-point shot. They may want to rethink about stretching the defense a bit like they did in that first half.
And he's got his first chance at the line here.
And, you know, it seems like Paul is ageless. I mean, still sharp, still quick and fast, and one of the most active players on the floor at all times.
And here's Conley outside. And no good trying to get that one.
When it's made by the big fella.
Just 1 quarter left in regulation. Welcome back, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. On the court for Memphis to start the fourth. Garrett Temple is out there with Conley. Then there's Caspi, and it's Marc Gasol, and it's Parsons in at the power forward. Rockets trail by 10. Ennis with the ball. He kicks to Tucker. Over Conley. And that one comes up a bit short.
Just a solid performance on the interior. The rebounding has been off the charts.
Yeah, you look across the board, it's actually sizing up, shaping up to be a great game. I mean, strong performances throughout, and they've really been strong on the glass.
And no doubt Paul is still a top-tier point guard, a determined defender, and, of course, a remarkable distributor.
You know, it's funny, guys. I'm still not sure that Chris Paul gets enough credit for just how special he is as a player. I'm not sure why that is. I mean, very few players in league history have been able to impact the game at both ends of the floor at his elite level.
Both free throws good from Paul. And you look at Chris Paul's numbers, they stack up to any point guard that's ever played the game. Clark, what do you think is the most underrated part of Chris Paul's game?
Well, I would think it would be his defense and his perimeter shooting. I don't think he gets the credit for being the perimeter shooter he is, but defense would stand out to me.
Here's Gasol. It drops. That's his 9th field goal of the contest. A blistering hot 9 for 11.
Boy, the confidence of Gasol on the block is really impressive to see. I mean, once he gets good positioning, he goes right to work.
Paul. Foul on the play. Basket counts, so it'll be a 3-point play chance.
There's a little bit of trickeration with that one. Gets that one to go against the win.
Trickeration. I like that, partner. That's pretty strong word creation. And you've got to be creative, though, whether you're commentating or hooping, especially when you're going inside.
James Harden, he's checked in for Ennis. Anderson, he's checked in for the Grizzlies. And that one falls for Paul.
Wow, they've made every free throw here in the second half.
And that efficiency, Greg, as you know, so critical when you're looking to overcome a deficit. You've got to be close to perfect and can't waste scoring opportunities.
And guys on defense, gasping for air at this point.
Well, I tell you what, Greg, what can they do? I mean, nobody can miss a shot. I mean, these guys are bringing it on offense right now.
In the corner, it's Gordon. Good. It's Harden with the assist that time.
Quick release from Gordon. Like seeing him shoot it as soon as he gets it.
And Temple kicks to Brooks. Anderson with the screen for Brooks. Here's Temple, defended by Gordon. 6 on the shot clock. And he's fouled pretty hard on that shot, but he's got the chance to pick up the points at the line. That one's on Eric Gordon.
I mean, even from over here, you can see that one pretty clearly.
No question about it, Greg. I mean, a ton of contact and a good call by the officials.
No good on the free throw. And the Rockets making a change here. Capella's checked in. And the Grizzlies also with the sub. Jackson's checked in. And so here is Houston. They trail by 7. Paul passes to Capella. Eric Gordon on the wing. Screen by Capella. Rejected by Gasol.
You really got to admire the reach of Gasol. He's excellent at utilizing those long arms of his to turn away shots.
Tucker. He drains it as the shot clock ticks down.
A good score inside, and the defense really offering very little resistance.
Well, they don't have anybody to blame but themselves. Got to prevent them from getting good looks this late in the ball game. You got to come up with stops.
Here's Gasol, and it's good. Looking quite sharp with 10 of 12 shooting tonight.
And he's had an excellent performance overall from the field.
Paul kicks to Capella. Dishes it to Harden. And Tucker has it in the corner. Good. It's Harden with the assist that time. Harden's got 6 assists here tonight.
A pretty free look from three-point range. The D forgot about him on that possession.
You know, Greg, I think that might have been intentional. Perhaps was not an accident because he's typically not the guy that's taking that shot at this stage of the game.
The Grizzlies making a switch here. Conley's checked in. And so it's Houston with it. 4-point game. Gordon up on top. He's covered by Anderson. Gordon the pass to Capella. All up top.
Hey, he's not when he's that close. Count.
The Grizzlies have gotten shots to drop here in the 4th quarter. They came out of the break on a roll. They double-team Conley. That's good on the assist from Conley. 5th assist in this one. Houston's gone 2 for 2 from three-point land to start the 4th quarter. Here's Paul. Good work defensively by Conley.
And he's just a tough defender. Good positioning to get after that shot.
Did a good job guarding the mid-range, extended out nicely, and definitely bothered the shot.
And thus far, they've managed to overcome an off game from him offensively.
Kicks it out to Paul. Jacks up a 3. And again, it's the Rockets from deep.
A good look there, and he didn't waste it. His second 3 of the game.
Out to the wing. Gasol against Capella. Up and in on the layup. Conley's got 44.
And he has just been in a flow offensively. Terrific game. He has been the X factor.
Gordon inside. He's against Anderson, and it's Gordon missing. Brooks outside. Jackson a screen on Harden. And there's the foul. It'll go on P.J. Tucker. That's his 4th foul of the contest.
That's his 4th foul. I'm sure he recognizes the situation because number 5 would put him in a rough, tough spot.
So it's the Grizzlies now. Earlier, they held a 23-point lead. This all setting the pick for Conley. Shot clock at 6. Over Paul.
You know, Chris Paul is a first-rate on-the-ball defender. I mean, you rarely get a clean shot off on him.
for three. Gordon, and again it's the Rockets from deep.
And finally, they fought themselves back to even the score. We've got a new ball game here now.
And really all the momentum is theirs, making such a strong comeback. So I think you've got to really feel good about their chances the rest of the way.
One-on-one fast break. Here's Harden, and Harden hit the stuff.
And Harden continues to work on his defense. It is a work in progress, but showing a bit of an edge on this end of the floor now. I like it.
Timeout called, the Grizzlies. And with the fourth quarter push coming up here, the coach going over the game plan, and these players rehydrating themselves with Gatorade, recharging their bodies, refocusing their minds, and getting that strategy down to close out the game. Now let's go to the sideline and catch up with our Hall of Famer, David Aldridge.
Well, during the break, I listened in on J.B. Bickerstaff's huddle. He was not happy with their defensive performance. He said they're getting everything they want. We got to show them we can't let that happen. You have to make a stand. You have to get some stops, and that'll get us going on a run, guys.
Yeah, and luckily they've got terrific depth at that position. If there's one spot on the floor where they can afford to lose somebody, that would probably be it.
Houston making a switch here. She's checked in.
And you know, by now, I don't think there's much question. Mark and his brother Powell are the best 1-2 brother punch in NBA history. How about over 30,000 points combined?
And as it goes out of bounds, Houston able to keep the ball here. Here's what the Houston Rockets schedule looks like. On Wednesday, they'll be facing Drew Holiday and the New Orleans Pelicans. And then on Saturday, they'll go up against LeBron James and the Los Angeles Lakers.
And for their matchup with the Clippers, I think they know how important it is to see how they measure up against the cream of the crop in the West. I'm looking for them to approach it like this is a playoff matchup.
Brooks kicks to Jackson. That drops, and it comes off an assist from Brooks. Brooks has got his 5th assist in this one. Rockets trail by 4. Outside Anthony. They set the pick. Pass to Chi. Some nice passing there by Houston. Paul with the ball. Conley picks him up. Tucker the pass to Paul. Over Conley. Again, the Rockets score.
Great quarter for him at the offensive end, trying to will his team back in the game.
Brooks kicks to Gasol. There's the dish to Conley. Anthony against Anderson. Gasol, a screen on Anthony. And so it looks like the Grizzlies will retain possession here. Marquise Chris, he's checked in for Chief.
Marquise Chris.
Here's Conley. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Anderson the screen. The tray. And Conley gets it to go. The assist by Brooks. Brooks has got 6 assists here tonight.
Yeah, and coming off that pick there, Conley able to get to his sweet spot and convert.
Chris kicks to Paul. Over Conley. It's rebounded by Memphis. Earlier, they held a 23-point lead. He dishes it to Gasol. Foul on the play, basket counts, so it'll be a 3-point play chance.
Yeah, he earned that one. I mean, taking the hit and still able to get that one to go down.
Incredible body control right there. Don't know how he was able to get that one to go, but it sure was a thing of beauty to watch.
Ennis, he's checked in for Houston.
One shot.
Here's Paul. Scoring at will, he's had it going on offense.
And it's not as if the defense hasn't focused on it, but he is just at a level right now offensively where you cannot deny it.
Here's Anthony. The Grizzlies pull it in. Gasol's got 5 rebounds tonight. Brooks up on top, guarded by Harden. Conley, the pass to Gasol. Over Ennis. No good from Gasol.
You just make the assumption that's going down. I mean, an uncontested mid-range jumper, I think he should have buried it, but you know what? He didn't. It happened.
Anthony, a perennial all-star talent, specifically because of that scoring ability, one of the best in the business.
To the middle, and that one is stuffed right through.
And nobody, guys, among the defenders stepping up to challenge him on that drive to the 10.
And Greg, he says thank you very much and sails in for the flush.
And those are the kind of sequences that tell you why the score is what it is.
Again, the Rockets score.
He has definitely shown up to play. He's done his part, really just trying to battle his team back into it.
Now a timeout called by Memphis.
That was a good time to call the timeout to try to settle everybody down and get back into their offensive rhythm. They've been coughing up the rock an awful lot.
And now we've got a moment for our Jordan Player of the Game, Michael Conley.
Yeah, and his performance has been a jaw-dropper. He must have been feeling great coming into the building tonight, because once he hit the court, it was all working for him. He was in a zone.
Nene, he's checked in for Ennis. Jackson down low, guarded by Tucker. Jackson gets the bucket. Jackson's got 5 points in the quarter. Nene with the screen on Brooks. Harden kicks to Paul. Clock at 6. Nene with the screen on Conley. And that one goes out of bounds. Last touch by Gasol. Two on the clock. Paul for 3. Memphis with the ball. They're on a 16-6 run. And Jackson with the basket on the assist by Conley. Conley's got his 7th assist here tonight.
Almost an impossible shot to block in the post. The defender can't give up that much of a height advantage and expect to contest it.
Nene, the screen. Here's Paul. Softly drops in the floater. Paul's got 30.
The teardrop. Man, he does it so nicely. At 6 feet tall, that might be stretching it a touch. It's a shot that Paul has had to master, and he certainly has.
And so it looks like the Grizzlies will retain possession here. Got a piece of it and taken away by Paul. Inside, Nene, and Nene with the stuff.
And I like how Paul constantly looks to set up his guys, knows how to orchestrate the offense with his passing.
And the basket by Jackson. Jackson's got 9 points in the quarter.
Still attacking, building on this lead coming down the stretch.
Yeah, he's clicking right now, and at the right time too, Greg. I mean, playing with a bunch of confidence in this 4th quarter.
Nene, the screen. Ball against Conley. 5 to shoot. Shot off the pick by Paul. They get it back. Rejected by Gasol. Ball against Conley. Here's Brooks. And fouled on the shot, so the bucket counts and a chance for one more here.
Guys, I think this is a game they have to feel good about as we wind through the final moments here in what looks to be a solid win for the Grizzlies.
The blocking really turned things into their favor this time.
Great timing, anticipation. They got that, definitely changed the momentum of this game.
And it'll go down as their first official win of the new year. The one player that really stands out, of course, in this one, it was a dazzling game for Conley.
Sheer dominance from him tonight. I mean, he could not be contained. A big reason for their success this evening.
There's 53 seconds left in the fourth. Here's Harden. Basket good.
And one of the things about Harden is he is incredible at scoring despite getting hit. I mean, astonishing to me how he maintains his focus on these shots.
Now Brooks. Outside Gasol. Brooks kicks to Gasol. Memphis moving that ball around. And the three off target.
And really nothing they can do now. They just got to play this one out.
Yep, this one's a wrap, partner.
Nene dishes to Carmelo. Misses the three.
Yeah, not a great shot there, especially when you got a lockdown defender guarding you.
Agreed. I mean, when the defense is right there, you've got to move the ball, make the extra pass. That's a case of a poor shot selection.
And that one drops.
And I love seeing Anthony come up with big plays in these moments because his team is depending on him to score, especially when the game is tight.